but we will determine the quorum at a later time. Consider the meeting minutes also. So let's dive into new business, park funds? Or do you want to wait on that?
I want to wait on that. I forgot to put the intern kind of overview on here.
Okay.
So Delbert Harmon's going to start out, and he's got a little summary of his internship.
Good.
All you.
So I'm just gonna go over what it is an intern.
Come up to the mic. So we can hear you.
I'm gonna go over what I did as an intern and kind of explain some of my experiences and some things I learned. First, when I first got here, my biggest goal and my biggest project was the summer park program. I met with Stan, and he went over how it worked, the paperwork, the kids, the parents, and all the things that go with that. My first leadership position was the talent show. This is where I was completely in charge of hosting, putting together, and rallying up the parents to come watch. It went very well. Had about 18 kids perform and 20 to 25 parents show up. So that was a good experience for me to learn how to put something together, like a program. And there was probably about 3 weeks within the time span that the summer park program was running where I was in charge in the leadership position. I got to do arts and crafts, put together programs, projects, and get the kids focused and ready to go for it. That's where I found my love for programming and also working with kids. These are just going to be some of the pictures that were taken during this process. This is some of the counselors, Hedgehog Hannah, all that fun stuff. This is the portfolio I put together with the arts and crafts. It has a bunch of different crafts and different things for the kids to do while they were doing that time period. Here's one of them. This is a salt volcano. It's good for all the ages. It's just vegetable oil, salt, water, and some food coloring. I did have 2 kids that were allergic to food coloring, so once again I had to improvise and work around that. It was a good experience, and I think the kids really liked it, so that gave me a boost of confidence. Okay, moving on to the pool and the pool maintenance. Every Friday we did Freaky Friday, whenever we could due to weather. We did fastest down the slide, best dive off the diving board, and we were going to do an eating contest, but didn't end up happening. We also got a log for the pool, which was really cool. We got to set that up, practice on it, create a video for the Facebook for Danville. And every Friday we try to pull that out and have the kids jump on it and try their best to stand on top of it, which the kids found very enjoyable. Moving on to the maintenance side, I got to do Mondays, Fridays, and some Saturdays and Sundays, testing the pool chemicals and checking the pH levels, chlorine levels, and also Mondays and Fridays doing backwash. And then I have a video that kind of goes over it a little more in depth. I think it's the first one.
Technical difficulties.
Are you making a
Just-
presentation?
Yeah, we
over there?
just started the interns are
Yeah, I'm every going over my
going over the intern overview this summer.
right all things I did. And all that. Monday through Friday, we do pool kids. Actually, Saturday and Sunday also. After that, on Mondays and Fridays, we have to do something called backwash. This is where we filter water through the system. This is the main pump right here. Some of the other pumps. We filter the main water through the system to clean up all debris.
Started from the beginning.
Sure. Yep. Every Monday through Friday, we do pool kids. Actually, Saturday and Sunday also.
That was cheating recorded on.
After that, on Mondays and Fridays, we have to do something called backwash. This is where we filter water through the system. This is the main pump right here. Some of the other pumps. We filter the main water through the system to clean up all debris and clear the water for the incoming residents. This right here is valve 5, which is a very important part of the backwash. This is the pressure gauges that we check. Over here is where we can release air to fill it back up with water to make sure we don't lose prime. Losing prime can cost us 15 to 30 minutes of having to get prime back. The flow of water. This is for our splash pad. These are the strainers we clean every Monday and Friday of debris and other things that might get caught in there, which is also, you might know, Band-Aids and whatnot. And these are the switches to turn off and on various water and pumps. Spray pad and other water parts of the pool. And usually we can get it done in maybe an hour and a half. Okay, so this is just showing the pool. This is where we did fast down the slide. I would stand up top and I would take the names and record the timing with the stopwatch. And that's also the diving board.
Wait a second. I
Yes.
didn't quite understand. Say all that again.
Which part?
The
From-
timing, the timing.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So every Friday we have Freaky Friday. So we have all the kids come out and we do each Friday we do a different event for the kids to do something, yeah. So that Friday we did fastest down the slide.
Ah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
right. So I would be up there, I would take their times, their names, and announcing over the microphone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we also did coolest dive off the diving board, and I would have like 7 through 10. We didn't go any lower than 7. And then we would rate them, and then also every winner would get like a T-shirt and something
Yeah, I
fun.
know we don't have a high dive anymore.
No. Risky
That was
business.
cool. Did you guys have the high dive?
I
when you
don't
were
think
around?
we have the space to do
How
that. The
deep-
higher
how
you get,
deep
you
is
actually
the-
have to go wide.
How
too.
deep is the
we're
deep
good.
well?
12.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably like 14. It'll blow my ears out. I have to blow my nose before I can go down all the way.
That's just the rolling log. We brought that out most Fridays, which kids really like. You just get on top of it and you get to try to roll on it and try to keep your balance. I think the best we got was maybe like 5 seconds, so it's pretty difficult to do.
Can you do it?
Not more than 5, so. The other intern's gonna show you. Yeah, you'll get to see. And this is just going over again. This is our kit where we test pH levels and chlorine and other things like that. Our main pump, which we use, and these are how we change and alter the pH levels, chlorine, and so we can keep them at the right level so everything's running smoothly. Our acid drums, which help keep the balance the pH levels so that everybody swimming can swim comfortably. Chlorine, small ones for the spray pad, big ones for the leisure pool, which is the main pool. Okay. In my internship, I got to do a lot more than just pool work and stuff like that. The symphony to me was something that I thought was very important and worthy of noting. I got to network a lot. I got to meet Laura, Marcy, and some others that were very influential, gave me a lot of good advice.
Where are you from? Like,
Brownsburg.
you're from,
Yes.
going to school?
I just graduated from Indiana State. Yeah. I got to meet some others from Danville, the sheriff, HRH, Health Regionals, Hendricks Health Regional.
Hendricks Region.
Regional Health. There you go. Thank you. I got that mixed up.
Head of marketing.
Yes. So it was just it was good to meet everybody and kind of shake hands and meet faces. I also got to do a wrap-up meeting. This is where we went over budgets, things that went good, things that didn't go so good, and things that we might want to change. Through rain or shine, that was just put there because it rained, unfortunately, during the symphony time. So that gave me a chance to see what it takes to go from not exactly what you planned to making it happen and getting it done
And by the way,
correctly.
you guys did outstanding on pulling that off.
Albert was there for a lot of it.
I mean, that was flawless. That was very, very impressive.
And this is just our agenda, so to show you some of the things that we talked about. This is me enjoying the symphony once it actually got going, and it's actually my first time at symphony, so it was actually
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
yeah, it was actually really good. And then lastly, helping hand some of the things I got to work on with some of the maintenance people and some other people. I got to learn how to use a backhoe. First time on that. I thought that was a really big machine, really cool to learn how to use. I actually got to drive it for a little bit. The race across Hendricks County, I thought that was a really big and important program because I got to market for it. I went to different towns, gave out flyers, talked to churches, tennis courts, helped break those down, take off fences. Softball fence, we put that up. I got to plant some trees. I never planted a tree before, so I thought that was cool too. And the Blaine 5K run.
Did you grow up in Brownsburg?
Actually, I moved to Brownsburg when I was about 12.
You never planted a tree?
Never got the opportunity.
On first this summer.
And then we did the Blaine 5K run, which I just helped out and guided people that were doing the run. Here's me on the backhoe. This is when we were putting up the softball fence. And lastly, not last, we did a staff outing. We went golfing. It gave me a chance to just kind of relax and enjoy working with everybody. And this is the other intern, Casey. Picture we took. And I think I have one more video. That's the last one.
Both left-handed, which was really odd to have two interns that were left-handed, and both had never played golf before.
Planted a tree or heard a symphony. Or
They the first
grow
couple
up in a
holes
jar
were
or
rough, but after that they were pretty good. Yeah, like Casey can smash him. He has a crazy hook, and Delbert, once he got a hold of it, kept that foot down.
This one right here, is that what you want to play?
It's just me swinging a golf club, so the way to end it.
There's that leg.
to the water.
Fall through a little bit more.
That's cool.
That was me at my time as an intern.
Is this your last week?
Yeah, it's getting there. I think next week.
Help us close down the pool, and Delbert's been great to have. A lot of firsts for Delbert too. Kind of came in a little green, I would say, but really caught on to things and Harkey for life.
What are you going to do next year from now on?
Next stage. So yeah, they figure it out very soon. I wouldn't say internship. I've worked with people, but it wasn't in Parks and Rec. So the first Parks and Rec internship. Yeah. There you go.
Great.
Have sound to it. Yeah, I don't know what's up. The HDMI. I think it's playing through the projector, and the projector doesn't have speakers.
My name's Casey Fox. I'm a senior public relations major at Ball State University. I'm just going to go over kind of an overview of what I did this summer with the Parks Department.
So when you say you're a senior, you're going to be a senior this year?
Yes, I've got one more semester at Ball State.
One more.
Mhm.
Okay.
One more. So on the first day, I kind of met all the staff. Stan showed me around the DAC. Eric showed me around the properties. I think the only park I'd seen up until then was Ellis Park. So I got to see Blanton House, North Park, and Jack Willard. So that was good. And then Will showed me through the shop and kind of took me down to the pool and then kind of gave me an overview of what we're doing, like day-to-day basis, and then through the whole summer. And then he also gave me the playbook, which I'm sure you guys have looked through, and he kind of wanted me to work with that over the summer. And then so pretty much from the first day until the first probably month and a half, everything we did was getting the pool ready. And then once it was ready, making sure it was running smoothly. So this is a time lapse that Eric took and put on the Facebook page. This is my first day actually. We painted the spray pad or the splash pad, and one of the first things Will told me was we're a small parks department with a small budget, but we like nice things, so we have to do a lot of the stuff ourselves, and that was something I found to be true throughout the entire summer. The splash pad ended up looking good, still looks good now, and then from then he showed me testing chemicals, backwashing, pretty much everything you need to do to keep the pool running smoothly. And then later on in the week, once we had the pool pretty much clean, the water inspected and everything, we kind of worked more into the concession stand, entrance to the pool, getting Wi-Fi running, running some wiring, which was a first for me, and then working with RecDesk. And RecDesk was a new software that we implemented, also going to the DAC, which I'm sure you guys know also. There's a learning curve there, I think, for everyone, and so we had probably like a week or two. We just went through, kind of got familiar with everything, and then went through and made minors with policies and procedures. So when the managers came in, if they had any questions and we weren't around, they could go step by step. Know what to do. So then once the staff came in, we kind of trained them up on it. And then I also had the opportunity to attend an IPRA meeting in Carmel with Will, and this was interesting because I'd never been to a meeting of that setting, and I also didn't know anything about IPRA. So I'd never looked at minutes before. I'd never been in a meeting where they passed motions and whatnot. So it was really interesting, and it was a good experience. And also something I didn't have any experience with was everything they worked on there, and they approved there amongst themselves had to be worked up to a board. So they could sit there for an hour and a half working on something. Board. So I kind of learned a lot about that, and just from sitting there for an hour or 2 hours with the IPRA, I learned a lot about what they do. Then also worked on some programming. I didn't actually work the Blanton Woods 5K. It was the 5K that you ran. Me and Nate did.
Oh, the Summer Run series.
Yeah. Put that on him. But so I got to do some different programs with him. I helped me, Delbert, and Stan helped set up the family camp out. And probably the biggest thing I learned from all the programming is, especially from the outside in, you don't really think there's that much that goes into it, or a small task, might seem very easy, but it's actually a lot of man hours and effort and thought that goes into all these things. Also, me, Delbert, and Nate worked on Freaky Fridays, and the next slide here, there's one of the first projects me and Delbert had. We worked on together was a promo video to go on the Facebook page that showed kind of the log roll.
It's a lot better than it sounds. I don't know what the sound is.
It's about a 25-second video. So it kind of took probably about the best part of a week and a half to get it. So we liked it. It's good. It's on the Facebook page. But once it's all taken down, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
Is anybody good at the log roll?
Yeah, you got to practice on it. You got to practice on it. Plus, you got to fill it up all the way because it slows it down. On those, they only had it filled like halfway. Because you have to fill it up with a hose. You can't just dump it.
Are you interested, Dave?
You want to try? It's
The only
pretty
reason
cool.
I mentioned that is that that Bojo or that Bosu ball, that ball you balance
Oh,
on,
yeah.
that it's flat on one side.
Yeah.
Gotten fairly good. That's probably a lot easier than the log.
You'd actually like the logger. It's pretty fun.
And then I also helped Eric with the dive-in and drive-in movies. So we would contact Swank, which is the company that we bought the copyrights for the movie. They'd send us promo materials, and Eric would have me work with the posters and get them so we could kind of post them on the Facebook page and advertise them and get people out there. We didn't have great luck with the drive-in movie because it rained that day and we had to move it inside, so the turnout wasn't good. But the dive-in movie went really well, and again, it was one of those things where there was a lot of behind-the-scenes work, and it was party going on at the pool, so we had about an hour to set up everything, and then we needed new speakers. But it was a good turnout. I think everyone that was involved.
How
had a
many
lot of
people
fun.
came out?
60, 75, somewhere around in there.
Good.
About the same as last year. It was cold though. I think we would have had more if it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
cold. It was. I was there with my daughter, and I was like,
And as a PR major, I do a lot of writing, but not so much in the design area, although I do have some experience. But this internship gave me a lot of time to work with and grow in the design. So I did both of those. Probably my biggest accomplishment this summer was the AIM Indiana Award for the Collaboration Award, and that was focusing on the Jack Lord Park. And pretty much going in, I didn't know anything about Jack Lord Park, but I interviewed Gary Aiken, talked to Will, talked to Mark Morgan, Tracy Shear from the Rotary Club, and kind of got an idea of what went into making the park, and then told the story through this award submission. And I was really happy with how it turned out. I think everyone that was involved was as well. Unfortunately, we didn't win the award, but
Is this something that you could send us? I'd like the Rotary Club to see.
sure. We'll be sending another one that I'm pretty sure we'll probably win for the state association. But that one's kind of like who's who you know place for the awards. But to show you guys, yeah, definitely send you over some. We have a cool brochure that goes with it too.
This isn't like the one that they presented at the thing downtown.
No, that was like Department of the Year out of the state. This is like an individual like project award.
Right,
And
but
this-
they gave that away up there, right? Or something else.
For some, that was just for our department as a whole,
I know,
everything we've
but
done.
there was another park somewhere that got one.
Yeah, they do other ones, and that's what we'll be applying for, those same ones, yeah. And then we also had another like picture brochure that went with it. That was pretty cool too. And Casey's got some skills definitely in writing, you know. PR's definitely where he needs to be. Just a matter of what he wants to do.
And then, so this is the playbook, and at the beginning of summer, Will came to me and said he pretty much wanted a template for the playbook so that when they wanted to update it or send out a new one, they didn't have to, outsource it every single time. So this is pretty intimidating coming in because, this was something that had been done professionally, and while I had some design experience, grade was a little over my head, but
It's already better than last year's. It didn't have all our faces.
On the front page.
And so this is kind of like the preview format of it. So what I have is I have the file on a flash drive, and in InDesign, if you open this up, all the blank spaces that you see up there, and the next slide, if you go around, the blank spaces, they've all got boxes with like X's in them, and there's all these rulers and guidelines, and pretty much the whole thing is set up to where if they want to put 12 new pictures in it, they could do it in about a minute. If they want to insert text, the boxes are already lined up there, everything's good to go. So it was really just me looking at and trying to figure out how I could, align everything, get it looking the way it should. But it made me grow, definitely, and I was really happy with how that was a little overview of what I did this summer. It was a great summer. I enjoyed working with everyone, and there's a lot of learning experiences I enjoyed.
I'm sorry,
both of you.
you probably said this. What's your major at Ball State?
Public relations.
Thank both of you for spending your summer here and working with us. I know it's all the.
Appreciate you guys a lot. Sure.
That's one thing that, great guys and you know that they'll do well. It's just great to have some of those newbies
Yeah,
come into
kinda-
it, and kind of
Kind of makes you remember,
starting out.
out.
in the whole process.
And for us, it's a chance too to like help build them up and maybe get them a career in wherever they're going. And then once you do an internship with us, I always tell them you're life references. You need help with your resume or anything. We try to help. And part of this too is we work on resume, help build up their resume and go through. We give them ours and cover letters. Use those to help.
Nice job, guys.
Ben. All right, so we're going to back up number 2 and quorum. We do have a quorum. Has everybody had opportunity to do the minutes? Don't worry about it. Are there any adjustments, changes, modifications that need to be made?
So I make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Second it.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. So then let's move into item 4, the new business, park funds.
Okay, so after last meeting, we talked about meeting with Jenny, the treasurer, and looking at opportunities to maybe take some of those accounts that are in the general fund and move them over to a non-reverting or something similar. Just put them back where they belong. Funds. So talked to Jenny a little bit about that at our budget retreat. And then she reached out to Umball, and which is kind of a CPA. And through that, I think it's Paige from Umball, wrote her back and said that it's good practice to pull the parks funds and put them all in their own separate levy. So it doesn't really change the way anything is done with the town. But what it does is it just kind of separates them. Everything's in parks. Pretty much everything that we wanted before talked about is kind of going to come true. There'll still be not really general fund dollars, but dedicated dollars for the park, which is what we currently have. They're just over here. Now they'll be in this bundle that's dedicated for parks, which is awesome. So,
But doesn't that affect the way we get to keep some of the revenue from?
no, it's so, depending on how we decide what we want to do with those things too. Like we still want to have a general fund account for the park, maintenance and salaries and stuff, but we can roll down the pool and roll down the rental facilities to maybe be in a separate non-reverting away from the DAC. Because I really, just in case one of those things would fail, I don't want it to drag the other one down. So if they were in separate funds, it'd be easier to kind of handle those. I think maybe we take Blanton House out and we put it up with pool too, just because it's a good, if one of those things were to falter, the other one could probably keep it alive.
I think it has answered my question. So even though you do that, if one does struggle, another one does well, we can still move it around.
Yeah, we can still supplement
Just
from the
talking
other.
about how you account for those
Yeah,
different.
yeah. So just
Really,
having
it's just
kind of
clearer for us to see the picture,
Mm-hmm.
not the.
and not only that, but now we get rental income, which we never.
See, that's
had
what I was
before.
asking about.
Yeah. Now we'll have the rental income to be able to pay for new chairs and new things at the train station, fix some things at the shelter. We can change our pricing structure. Definitely need some help. It's really, I went into the meeting thinking I was going to be battling, and I came out yeah! I had this big stack of papers, and I was ready to do battle, and then it was don't even look at those papers. Just throw those away. Throw those in the recycling.
Because before that income went to.
Yeah, it just went back into the big pot to pay for other things, which is understandable. Because without the town buying the facilities, we wouldn't have the facilities. So you got to kind of have a little bit of a give and take in that situation too. But I think it's great moving forward. It's just all around awesome. It'll help with some of this
Streamline things, won't it?
accounting stuff too. And we talked about adding that new admin person. This will be great because now, 2018, hopefully if this comes true, we'll have another person in there. We can change some of the ways to increase our internal controls a little better too. Yeah, it just all around, it's awesome. It turned out so great, and I'm thankful to Jenny, of course, and Laura and Gary were both on board as well. And I presented in front of the council yesterday and really didn't have very many questions. Looking like it might happen. So we got 2 more meetings, 2 more readings, I guess, before it's approved. But if it does, I'll probably want to have one of you guys sit in on a meeting with me with Paige from Umball. Just make sure that, I know there's a couple rules that change, like our reserves, we have to have 25% or 20% in reserves, which we pretty much are.
You mean, okay, that reserve, it never gets touched. You can't go below.
You can, but they recommend having,
That's just good.
yeah. We kind of already do that. We set a threshold of
Yeah.
$100,000 that we won't touch anything to bring our funds below 100,000, which is pretty close to the 25% mark. So I think we're already doing it, but I just want to have it written down.
So a new admin person would do what? Would they do what Jenny was doing?
So we want to kind of clean up some of our stuff goes to the treasurer and describe it. So the money comes from the pool, right? We have kids counting it, and then it gets to the treasurer's office, and there's a lot of discrepancies. We want to in the middle prior to it going to the treasurer, so it's more streamlined. Because to me, it's embarrassing when they're off, 50 cents or something, and we don't have a reason, or we don't, it's a reason from them. But I'd rather us go out, seek all the answers, then have it all put together, have maybe a disciplinary procedure in there too, and then give it to the treasurer. So that by the time she gets it, it's already been counted 3 times.
It's a finished product.
Yeah, and then it just cleans up all that. And Casey's seeing it. I don't know, Delbert. I don't know. Did you see it? Yeah, it's just there's a lot of problems in those first week or 2 of the pool, and I think this will streamline.
This person going to have other duties.
Yeah, pretty much they're going to be housed in the DAC, so they can help with the DAC. They're going to be doing probably receipts, so all incoming dollars, just receipting them into our system. They're already receipted by the treasurer, but we do our own accounting too, just as a double check to kind of double check them to make sure, because there's a 2-week lag sometimes when we send a bill in versus when it's actually paid, so we want to know today what it is, not 2 weeks from now. So, and right now, I'm doing all the bills, and Eric's doing all the receipts coming in. So, if we can, goal is to trust this person enough to be in that kind of window and help us with some of those things. Also, answering calls. We're going to be taking over rentals too. So, we want to make sure, because some people still want to pay in cash and they want to pay. We don't want to take that away from them. We want to give them a spot to where they can still come into the DAC and they can still pay. Yeah, it just all around it gives us kind of like an anchor in some of that, because we get pulled 100 million places sometimes when there's projects going on. And just like to be in my office more, and this should help some of that too.
Is this person like a 9 to 5?
No, this person is a part-time person. They'll probably be. I want to give the option of the hours being different, so that maybe we get a better person in there too, not so rigid and standardized. Maybe they work, maybe it's a stay-at-home mom or something. I'm hoping to get someone that has a little bit of background in something, hopefully data entry or administrative assistant type. Yeah, that would be awesome. And then once we feel comfortable, we can start giving them other tasks that give them involved in. And it should free up some of the staff too at the DAC to be able to do. And then the other position was the rec person. And since we switched Stan over to pools and facilities, so now we're taking away a little bit of the rec side or programming side. So we want to add that person in to help Nate, because he's now DAC and rec. So we want to make sure we add that other person in so that we don't take away from all the programs that we do.
So you're going to create a job description.
Yeah, I'll have all of that.
Job description.
We are still working on what their new titles would be. Not their titles, but their job descriptions are as far as Stan and Nate. So we want to make sure that those are honed in before we go off and hire these other people. We hope to have them in the next or 2. Probably the next meeting I'll have jobs for you guys. You can kind of see it. I know I showed you the flow chart, but that's here you are, not what you do as much. So it's going to be really nice. It really is. It's going to add some layers too, which will be nice. People are going to have some more responsibility to make decisions.
Or because
Oh, totally. Totally.
Is the council concerned at all about the lost revenue coming out of that fund?
No, I don't think they really count on it. It's just kind of like an extra cherry. Because I mean, sometimes we haven't done well, as far as the pool goes. I think we fixed most of those issues with the staffing, just tightening up the staffing. We've pretty much fixed the pool for now. Depends on if the school season changes or anything like that.
And what were your pool memberships this year?
They're on here. It's 572 memberships.
And last year's, what was it?
We don't have the same system, so it's a little different. But we had, I believe we said we had 100 or 96 memberships, something like that, times 4 people. So that's close to 400. So we're still up maybe 100. Pretty good. And I think next year, now that we have all these people's information, we can market that discount ahead of time. I think this number is going to be huge next year.
Business Park Fund. Forward to the job descriptions and old business, the 2018 budget.
We had a budget retreat, like I was talking about, went through all the stuff, and really no questions really on anything. They had me describe a little bit more about the upgrades to the DAC, but that was really it, and they saw those as a positive as well. I talked to Barry, too, about moving that chiller, and there's some potential where maybe the town can help out on a couple of those items, like the bathroom upgrades and moving the air handler. So we'll see how those go. We'll see where their budgets are when we come up on those projects. But I think, overall, it seemed to be pretty positive.
Wayfinding.
Right. So after last meeting, phase 1 is ordered. We're waiting on designs for the front sign entrance or the marquee / entrance sign. When I get those in, I will forward them on to you guys so you can kind of give your opinions and tell me what you think, if we need to make any adjustments or anything on that. That's pretty much all I have on that. Did you guys have anything? Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, I thought you meant the other.
No, the other ones are good, ready to go. I don't have a date yet. They're still being built. And I'll probably let you guys know when those are coming in too, because I'm sure somebody will have questions, and it's good to know answers to their questions. So I'll forward on some stuff whenever that date is as well. Tennis courts. So this project, we started kicking gear full speed last week. We got all the clay up today. We've got a couple fence posts still to take down, quite a few actually, but they come down really easy with the big equipment. We got it all sectioned off. Thursday, the paving guy is going to come in and tell us when he's going to get started, which is going to be pretty awesome. So we should have some dates probably by Thursday. Hopefully he's going to give me those dates. And then really it's full steam ahead from right now, just waiting on other people to finish their piece of the puzzle. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. We got a lot of people pumped up for it too, asking me all the time.
That paving will be the trail and the
It'll
tennis
be
courts?
the trail, also the trail to the road that goes into the Winterland storage building. So that's all kind of part of this plan here. And then it'll be the tennis courts and Helton Drive all at the same time. So it's going to be like a whole new area of the park pretty much for pretty good discount too, since we're doing all 3 projects.
Further discussion? Anything else in the trail?
On that, once they started pushing dirt around, we found that we have a lot more runoff still after the dirt's gone, as far as water goes. So we're gonna have to put in probably a trench to catch the water before it goes under the building, because we don't want it to freeze thaw, and then all of our wood's broken. So once the tennis courts get going, we're gonna switch modes, jump up to there, saw cut area to put some grates in, bring the grates out the side, and we're gonna finish concrete straight drive in. It stinks to have to add that project onto everything because we're kind of close to the end. But, we need to protect the building. It falls 3 feet from one side to the other, so when the water hits it, it's coming good. So, and we thought we'd fix it by taking out that mound on the one side, that giant mound, but it really comes from up high by the wall and works its way down, so. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right, get it done, and enjoy that building for a long time.
That drain is between the barn and the woods, or,
It's between the barn and the trail, actually.
oh, that, okay.
So it's on the south side. And then we still have a couple lights to put in on the front too, but I don't think that'll be a huge project. Not like great. Just everything's ready to go there. We've sprayed a couple spots to see how bad the weeds are. They're pretty bad. So we think we're probably going to have to reseed at some point, at least the center. I think we can get away with probably the outsides being okay. Inside the road area, probably do some slit seeding. We'll just rent something and seed it. I think it'll be around $6,000, but I'm not going to do it until the weather starts really changing, so I know I can get some rain on it. But yeah, we kind of knew it was going to happen anyways because we seeded so late in the season last year. It looks pretty right now, but most of it's not what you want in your yard. So we'll go through, probably spray it, and then we'll wait 2 to 3 weeks, and then from there we can split seed and we'll heavy seed it too, so that hopefully it'll grow back really thick.
What's the forecast for when you think?
If we pushed it, I mean, you probably could do next year, but I don't know. It really depends on the second seeding. If the second seeding is good and it gets in there, I mean, right now we're probably 3/4 of the way to what the field is down there. As far as grass goes, it's really hard down there, where it currently is. So if we aerate, seed, it'll be close. It'll be close. It'll depend on the spring, really.
That's the question I get. You guys get that question now. When are you gonna do something up there?
Yeah. We still
Well, I
need
heard
to.
someone actually had practice up there.
Yeah, I try to get them to stay out of the center. I was like, I don't mind if you guys practice on the outside. I know space is limited. It really is down there for football. So if you guys practice on the outside, I'm perfectly fine with it, just not on the inside. Because if you practice on the inside, it's going to prevent us from, or prevent them from being able to use the field.
Well, that's nice if they can use it already.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't see anything wrong with them using the outside, because if that grows a little slower, that's fine.
This is right on schedule. We knew.
Yeah, we were hoping we were pretty much like 6 months late on when we started to where we thought we were going to start. So that kind of pushed us back on this maybe, 18, maybe. We're really close. I think if we have a good spring, and a good fall, and we reseed prior, I think we'll be close to good on it. It'll be up to them too, though, because they still need to have field goals, scoreboards, all those other things. So. And Kent and I have been kind of working on that. We need to probably meet with them again and just touch base, and we're working on some numbers and stuff.
We set an expectation. expectations that it's gonna be 18, or should we set expectations? it's
No,
gonna be 19?
19. If it comes earlier, that's great, but I think we should look at 19 and not 18, just to be safe. Because we know it'll be good at 19. It's the 18, it's kind of wishy-washy.
Plus, I mean, even if the grass is ready,
Yeah, there's still other things
There's a lot of other
that
things.
really don't depend on us. It kind of depends on them. But we want to do it right too. So I'd rather have it done right and be done in 8 or 19 than force it in 18, and then it's like kind of half done and then it just looks bad.
well, even if they could get, like I said,
Oh yeah,
that's still a bonus.
yeah. And I think practice-wise, as long as they don't use the main fields in 18, they'd be fine too. And we should probably have them marked out by then too.
Where are we at with the landscape design?
Yeah, I just haven't had time.
Okay.
That's something I definitely want to put some time into too. It's probably going to be a winter project, I'm guessing. Maybe December, start hitting it hard once we get Winterland done. We can get somebody to come out and kind of walk the land and see it without anything on the trees. Shows it a little better.
On the reports, year-to-date financial reports. Those.
Not really. I really want to focus on the next meeting, talking about the pool. That'll be a big thing for me. We're pretty close on track with what we were last year, which is good. That means we have some consistency, but time to knock those numbers up as far as revenue coming in. Eric and I have some really good plans on how to do that. We're just hoping we have enough time to get it in before the next season. But we're going to focus on a couple things that we think can drive some of those numbers up.
Beer sales?
Yeah, there's always options, always options. Yeah, there's definitely some potential at the pool to earn a lot more revenue.
Questions on those? Okay. Board have anything? Moving on to the DAC.
All right, so like we were talking about before, so we're about 75% integrated on the rec desk system. Now we're gonna migrate the DAC, which is a pretty big undertaking. So Nate is gonna kind of be the steam engine on that one. We're gonna give him our knowledge on what we've been doing so far, and hopefully have him wrap around what he wants to do to kind of make the system work for the DAC. A lot of cool features with the system, a lot of cool numbers that we can use, and it's going to be great. Hopefully I got him as an October 1st deadline to make the migration, so right before our busy season. And it should be a pretty big undertaking, but we've already done the pool, and that was the hard one because everything was brand new. So we had to kind of learn our own systems, and the first 2 weeks were a lot of work, but after that, it kind of just does its own thing. And the good part about the DAC is that we don't have the numbers come in all at one time, where when we had the pool, everybody came in to get a membership, the first couple days. So it was like bam, 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 trying to learn the system, make sure none of the kinks were in there. And we found a couple kinks that will make us some more money next year that people were kind of working us on. So we're going to try to make sure that doesn't happen at the DAC. It's a different membership setup anyways, but just kind of making sure we have that. We're going to have faces with the membership numbers, which is huge because a lot of times we get in these weird situations of I don't think I've seen you before, but you logged in. Wait a second, you're not Jenny Smith, you're John, you know? And so, you know, it'll make it a lot easier for us to approach people when we know they're cheating system. So it'll be nice. Plus, we'll track and see, you know, how many times people come in. You could link money to certain accounts. It's really cool overall. We can market to people too. You know, when we have those DAC days and we have the free T-shirts and stuff, we never really kind of send out anything. We just market it, that, you know, put it on a poster. Hey, here it is. Now we can send it out to members. Just say, hey, stop by and grab a T-shirt and some Gatorade on this date, and come to membership appreciation, and maybe we can do some. If you tell a friend, you get some. Maybe you get. That's how you get your T-shirt or something. Come up with some cool marketing.
You know, I've wondered times I'm down there working out. 3 younger, one guy signs in. They're
Yeah.
waiting, and I'm sitting there kind of like, I don't know if I should try to
Hold them down till the cops.
the rest. I don't know if I should intervene or what.
Yeah, it's eventually they'll get caught. It's just a matter of time. Park board badge.
You didn't get your park board
Hey, I'd
badge?
like to have that too sometime.
I use mine all the time.
Yeah.
You get pulled over?
Part of me wants to, you know,
Yeah.
this isn't right.
Yeah.
But then the other, you know, so I'm open for suggestions. I mean, I'm just letting you know that I.
Yeah, you kind of see it and you question it, and I know
I
it's
never feel like approaching them. I just feel like knocking on them to you guys.
yeah, and you can do that too. You can say, "Hey, Will, I saw one guy sign in at this," because we can go after that guy to find if the other ones were accurate. So, and everything's time stamped too. So all you gotta do is see the time, and you can shoot me a text.
Plus, I'd hate to put you in a position.
Yeah, we don't want to
where
put you in a
you know,
position
you're
to.
interacting with them, and they're like,
Yeah, let us be
Like,
let us
who
be
are
the
you?
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'll be in a big fight with them.
Hold
Yeah.
up with a dumbbell when you go out there.
Yeah.
It's part of your workout.
He's retired, he's got nothing else to do.
No, we appreciate that though, because
So if I could
anytime
do
we
a
can
little
catch
narc-
one,
Do a
yeah,
little narc work.
yeah,
that's-
inside job, like it
Intel.
for
You
sure.
know, you've got your phone with you.
he changes
Just send
clothes
Just send
or-
Will a text at
Yeah.
that time. I mean, that's
It's on the
Especially if it's during the day too, when we're there.
Well, yeah, if it were that, but this was, I can't remember.
Yeah, some night
No
or
one
something
was
in the
there.
morning.
Walks around in a trench coat.
that might be a little obvious.
Right. You mentioned moving the air handler and different things like that. Is there any type
No, I gotta get very happy
Okay.
and on board. We gotta finish. I want to finish at least this trail project before I start another one, because I think my staff may try to kill me if I don't wrap one up.
But
You
Bill
know,
thinks it's a good idea. Then.
do what?
He thinks it's a good idea.
Everybody thinks it's a good idea.
It's
It's
just
just a matter of timing. Yeah, because you know you want to kind of wrap up one thing so that you can focus your time. Because I don't want to have 10 projects going and everyone gets 10% of me. You know, I'd rather have like 2 or 3 and be able to go in there a little bit more hardcore, so it turns out better.
Did your wife tell you to say that?
What?
Too many projects going. Your wife tell you to say that? Finish them.
No, I'm usually pretty good at doing that at home.
no further discussion? We'll move on to programs.
Had the GFAC in there too. Just an
Oh,
update
yeah.
on the pool, real quick. So have a lot of things breaking at the end of this year. Lost a slushy machine. We're hoping, we're praying that our slushyology works for us. We pinpointed the problem. We bought the part. It's in. Eric's actually cleaning it up to hopefully solve any other issues with it. But it's like $5,000 for a new slushy machine. So it can be pretty detrimental if we don't fix
How old
it.
is this one?
It's 10 years old, so it's served a lot of slushies over the time period. And it was really a great slushy machine. It's got a few quirks to it, like the seals on it. You have to have them perfect or it leaks, which is a pain. But, I mean, it puts out slushies like no other, and everybody loves them. I mean, it's probably paid for itself 30 times. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. So we'll probably, hopefully we won't be looking at a new slushy machine, but the potential is there. And I think I've got like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 left in this year's budget, but I was hoping to upgrade my chemical controllers to a system that can hook to your phone, so that we know when the pool's doing bad, so we can go in and fix it. Really want to focus on that, but priorities may change. Slushy makes us money. The other thing's just a nice feature to have, so I may end up having to buy the slushy machine instead. So I'm praying that $50 part works. But also the diving board, I don't know if it's even going to make it through another season. It's, we bought one 3 years ago. It's the same issue. It just rusts. I kind of feel like it's not made for commercial use, even though it's a commercial use diving board. Looking at maybe going with the springboard in the future. It's $15,000. It's expensive, but the other one's about $10,000 anyways. It only lasts 3 years. Thing in the springboard, since it's mounted to the ground in more places, might last longer. We started removing the diving board every year, and it helps it last longer, but it's still just, it's not enough. So we even ground it down this year and, painted it again to try to block some of the rust, and it just rusts, and then you get.
So what is the board made of? Is it made of metal?
It's made out of metal, and then there's like a rubber pad at the bottom, and it kind of springs you a little bit, but the newer ones have adjustments on them. It's not newer. The more advanced ones have adjustments. They're also a little higher, so it's you'd be able to get a little bit more height on it too, which like a 3/4 meter. I think ours is a 1/2 meter, so I was thinking like 3/4. We'll have to look at the standards. We may be able to go with a 1 meter, which is like double the size of the one. It's kind of nice. But I need something that lasts. I don't want to keep buying a diving board every 3 years. I'd almost rather not have it because right now I don't feel 100% about people being on it, especially the public, because there's a 250-pound weight limit. But there's like issues with that. How does a guard look at you and tell you you're 250 pounds or not?
Yo, Hoss.
Yeah, exactly. So we try to sign it up as much as we can so that people will hopefully be like, oh, I'm 251 pounds. I'm not going to go on it. But
So you do have a sign.
yeah, we have multiple signs. Trying to.
Now the income that I'm looking at here, I'm just trying to size this up about a $15,000 diving board, and our income was $32,000. I'm just going back to the profit and loss,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Am I looking at that right? Our income was $32,000.
But the only thing that's not factored into these is staffing. Our main function is staffing. And that's why I'm going to bring you real numbers in the next one, because we don't have.
I guess what I'm saying is, 32,000 doesn't include staffing.
We're buying a $15,000.
And we're buying a $15,000 diving board that we need every 3 years.
Hopefully not with the next
10,000.
Would you do that if you owned the pool? You have to do, that's, wow. I think we have to really think through that.
But it is a main feature.
It is, and you can't take it out. Really.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
And that's the problem is we've kind of. I know I tried to get rid of it 3 years ago because of that same reason, and with the 250-pound weight limit, it's kind of like, seriously, you call this a commercial diving board? I mean, have you looked at America right now? I mean, there's a lot of people who are over that are still gonna jump on that diving board.
What are you trying to say?
Why do you look at me when you say that?
Avert your eyes.
All right, I'll look up when I say it. But it puts the guards in an awkward situation too, you know. And so, yeah, whenever it is down, and it was down twice this year. People send me emails.
I don't know how you have a
I
measuring
come-
stick on the height. Maybe you have a scale, you know.
Yeah, the stairs.
they do
the
that?
first stair.
Part of it is design, the actual design of
Yeah.
it is horrible. Like
It's
the-
better. This round is better
handles?
than before, but yeah, it's still. I mean, I wouldn't build
We're-
something like that.
we're
And there's only like
theoretically-
one place that builds. diving
Worst case scenario right now, we're spending $10,000 every 3 years, $3,333. So it's hopefully you're banking some of that. Now, if it's 15,000, what are we thinking we're going to get out of it? Then?
Well, I want to go to Plainfield. That's what they have. They get 10 times the use we do. So I want to find out, like, how long are these last? Are you
That's a
buying
good
new
idea.
tops? Are
That's
you
what I was
buying
gonna say.
springs?
So if we get 10 years out of it,
Then it's
Even if we got
1,500 a
total
year.
winner.
5 would be decent too. I
Are
mean,
you surprised that? What are you
Oh,
more
yeah,
surprised at? The
3
length
years.
of time or the price? Of
actually, all of those.
I guess I'm
I can't
surprised.
believe
I'm
it's that
surprised
much
at all
money.
this.
I can't believe it has only a 250-pound weight limit, and they call for it in commercial pools. And then just the way it's built is horrible. Like, it leaves room for, cracks, and that's what it does. It cracks in the frames, and then it's like, we have to pull it off and re-weld it, and then kind of, in my head, I'm like, well, I'm liable now because,
Because you're re-welding.
yeah, I'm re-welding it, even though we're probably making it better than what it was. Yeah,
certifying it then.
exactly, and that's why I didn't do it
I
this
guess I'm
time.
surprised that the board is some sort of a composite.
No, it's like an
Board.
aluminum-ish metal. There's new ones, but I don't know that that's
Is the
going to
hardware
change.
stainless? I mean, hardware
Some of
rusted?
it's stainless, some of it's not. I mean, it's really just put together very poorly. And it's the only place that makes diving boards.
Can't believe, surely,
You go anywhere.
that's an
and-
astounding number. It's an astounding number.
Me too.
I mean,
So it's not just me. I'm
No,
just-
no, I mean, that's,
Yeah,
Well, it sounds like you're doing research and digging into it.
yeah, I got to figure out something. And maybe we try 1 year. See.
and I think you've got to get information from other communities that have outside pools. I mean, it doesn't do
Yeah.
any good to go to an indoor facility and figure out what they're doing, because
Yeah,
they're not going through the elements.
Plainfields is out.
Well, and I want somebody who gets more use than we do.
I think this is a good thing to network on and see
Put a big rock on the end of like
We thought about maybe switching to a platform board instead of the spring. So then there's no moving parts. It's just like jumping off the cliff, but it's higher,
high diving.
and you can still do all the other stuff. You just don't get that spring at the end. But it's probably going to last you 20 years. So when NRPA comes around, that's one thing that's on my list is I'm going to go and talk to all the pool companies and be like, hey, what are you guys doing for this? What are you doing for
That's a
that?
big thing to try to figure out because that's such a huge expense.
Oh, huge expense.
What
Yeah.
do the Olympics do? Do they use a platform?
They've got
They're
both.
inside.
Well, they're both.
Yeah, they're inside.
I'm not sure
And
the
there's,
budget's really or something
Yeah.
they're worried about it, but nothing's there.
I don't know if there's any 250-pound swimmers either.
I'm just thinking about the future.
Yeah.
We could have an Olympian down here.
Could be. Feeder system.
His name, the surveyor, Higby.
Higby?
He's diving coach for Davis or something.
Is he really?
Yeah, that
Reach out to Higby. I mean, he's
the little
like, he
kid's
has like
pretty good.
Olympic
Yeah.
divers on his team. So he might have some insight. He might
Yeah.
reach out
Oh, this morning.
to Tim.
Tim, yeah.
Tim Higby.
Yep. Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, it's worth a call. Sure. So yeah, we're kind of dealing with that stuff. We've got autofill issue. I can fix that
What?
one. Autofill. So the pool has auto fill and auto shut off. So it kicks on, when it gets so low, it kicks on so that it's off once it gets to a splash pad. Isn't kicking off. It just fills all the way up and then goes out the top. So, but we have to get in the pit to be able to do it, so I didn't want to drain it out. Shut it down for a couple minutes because it's overfilling. Did it by hand, but it becomes a pain in the butt. Got to remember to turn it off. Wasting water. Was it? Yeah. That's it.
Programs?
Program. So we had the dive-in movie, about 60 people. Symphony, a little strange this year, having to go out to the high school.
I think it turned out great.
It was like the fanciest band concert I think I've ever been to at a high school.
How did it sound? How did it
It
sound?
actually sounds.
It actually sounded really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was going to drown us out, but it really was nice. For what
And
we
to
had
be
to work
that
with.
close to a symphonic orchestra.
Yeah.
I'm just so disappointed that more people don't come to this. It
Yeah.
just is bewildering to me to have a symphonic orchestra of that quality right here in our backyard, and it's not better attended.
But don't
Yeah.
you think people didn't come when it got rained out?
Well, even when it's
Even when it does. I mean,
even
we
when
should-
it does
At the park.
I
we
just
should have
think
over 1,500 people easy, and I think our highest was
it just seems like there ought to be 5,000 people down there. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just
I do too. All bets are off when it rains like that, but I'm always disappointed.
Oh, we've had 2 bad years of forecasting.
it's so much fun. I love it.
Yeah, it is.
Now, we were supposed to do food at the park. Marsh said,
Yeah.
what? Do you think?
Oh,
that
the
we-
guy killed it.
That guy sold
The
everything
guy
out.
like sold out everything.
What guy?
The guy that was there.
Yeah, the only one that showed up.
I know, but who was it? What did he sell?
Hamburgers.
Yeah, it was something weird like John's Kitchen or something.
No, I don't know. We weren't sure if people would show up.
Yeah, everybody kind of bailed out for the same reason, and then
Yeah.
tons of
This
people
guy-
came, and
this
that
guy
guy
killed
just yeah, he's like, I don't have enough stuff. I gotta go to the store.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and Marcia said, I can't guarantee anything. so,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. It was really everything was kind of on the fly. The school
Yeah.
was great. They were pretty open. Janitors were
It was
interesting.
freezing though.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, because of the storm.
Well, I don't know that the AC cranked because they probably
Oh,
got a
that-
bunch of people.
The
Well-
building was cold. I meant the
Well,
rain.
and so when we got there, it had actually shut off for like an hour and a half or something. So we were all freaking out because we didn't think that they turned it back on, and it took a long time to get back up. But I think it overcompensated.
Yeah,
Once it did, it was
Because
like,
I'm warm-blooded and I was
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was cold.
yeah. It went from like sweaty forehead to like
iceberg.
grab a blanket.
That's good to know. Then if that's our plan B, it's a good one.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
good plan
pretty
B.
solid.
It worked out better than everyone thought.
And we could have probably had a couple hundred more people in there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Yeah.
A lot of tables
Yeah.
empty.
Well, and we thought about that too. Is the hard part is making that call. It really is hard to like. 'Cause
And
you
then
want to
getting
have
the- and then
100%.
getting the
You want
word
to have
out.
that at the park. Yeah.
And getting the word out.
Yeah.
Got out okay. It
Yeah.
came off amazingly good, all things considered. The right call was made. You can't control the weather, but
Maybe you should advertise from the beginning what the rain plan is.
It's on the tickets.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Well.
And I think what we
Say
should
the
do,
school.
and I've already told Marcia this, is that we need to try to get them to agree to a backup date up front. That would be
Is that
good.
possible?
It's possible.
I know with them.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, they're
Why to the high school gym? Why not this gym?
because the high school gym holds more.
Hold up.
Their
Yeah.
acoustics.
Their electrical sucks. Up to their pain.
Meg had to keep walking up there because remember the lights would trip.
Yeah.
And she'd have to walk up there because the motion light. It was a motion light thing, so she just had to walk up there behind the thing. And the lights would come back on, and then
Yeah, there's some quirks for sure. But yeah, it turned out pretty good, and you
That's
know,
good to
at
know.
least we know we can do it there.
Yeah.
I'd like to never know again, but
Yeah.
I'd like to have it at
But
the
now
park.
you know.
Yeah, and I
Now
spent
we-
like $2,200 on tree removal prior to that, but they had to come down. So other than that, tennis camp, we had 8 in the younger division, 6 in the older division. Co-ed softball started. We have 5 teams. Hendricks County Half Marathon, we're working on that. And Daddy-Daughter Football, we changed the date to the 16th of September.
Riggs concert.
Is it on the Saturday? Is it the 3rd? That's the 3rd Saturday?
I saw that email. I'm like, oh. We didn't check the calendar.
Still got time.
But we've already changed. People who've signed up.
Or what was it before?
It was homecoming weekend. 23rd. Kind of hard because if we push it back, then it's like in.
Well, which is worse? I would think so.
What's
know.
the concert? Does it start at 7:30?
Yeah, you could probably do both because you could go to the concert after. Once your kid's all jacked up on cotton candy.
All dressed up.
Yeah, that's true too. Maybe we could just change the times.
Yeah, start it earlier.
Do like 5 to 7. 5 to 7.
What is it?
I'd do that.
6
I'd
to
do that.
8. And then that way you'd have a little bit of transition time. All right.
5 o'clock on a Saturday.
Still, someday I'd like to do the whole like dinner where you buy a package and they go to dinner and then they come to
Oh, that would be cool.
because then you'd be in the same place eating. Not this year. Too many changes.
You just won't go to Orange Leaf this year.
Uh-oh, I don't know if that'll pass. And that's all I have. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Big thanks to some of the other departments for helping out with some things like the trail back here. Barry's been helping out a lot with that. Rob send me over guys and helping out too. Really appreciate that. Jerry had to come out and fix some manhole issues that he had on the trail, but he did them, you know, just to kind of help us move along. And then of course Jimmy, we've been using his backhoe for a lot of stuff. We probably almost use it more than they do for our projects. And we can't afford an $80,000 backhoe. Yeah. So we're talking, Eric and I were talking about maybe we're going to chip in and do some sort of like steak lunch for him or something, just because, we can't do half the stuff, Sometimes I'm a little bit of a dreamer on what we can take on, and we make it happen still, by those guys helping us out.
And we don't like compensate Jimmy for that.
No, he borrows stuff from us, but I'm letting him borrow my $15,000 mower, and he borrows $80,000 backhoe. So his maintenance and my maintenance are way different
We keep it
numbers.
lubed in the gas.
Do what?
We keep it lubed in the gas.
Yeah, we pay for all that stuff. Yeah, Jimmy's pretty good about teaming up on stuff and letting us use stuff,
Someone
and
would
Rob
go.
just sends
That's the
someone
way you
with.
got to
it.
do that if you're
It's
in.
the
Oh,
only
I think
way.
so, too.
If every single department had it.
We're big team people, so. But yeah, we can't do half the stuff we do without them unless we rented stuff. But
I second it.
You have anything?
I'm good.
Thank you.
Great meeting.
guess
Good
we-
job you earned
Good job.
I got
interns.
two things.
Okay.
Real quick.
Oh,
Well, one, Bill, do you have anything? The Blanton House? Nothing to discuss?
yeah, all in fall.
so the revenue that we saw from the Blanton House doesn't include these new things coming up.
The hard part about the Blanton House is they do 50% deposits in a prior year.
So it's part, oh, okay, so it's part of it's in there.
Yeah, part
Okay,
of it's in there.
That's all.
And I'm gonna bring you guys some numbers next time. I have them actually with me, and to try to figure out how many rentals each year. Used to do that in the annual report, and I don't know. I think when we switched our rates, we stopped doing that. We started doing it by money instead of how many times we rented. And it would be nice to have both of those together, so you can kind of see. But yeah, I mean, we're on a similar pace to what we always are.
And it's always heavier in the autumn.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird
Yeah.
that for some reason August and July aren't completely booked because it's an outdoor wedding place, and you think like that's the primo time to where you're not going to get rained on. Maybe not this year, but oh yeah, they were awesome, nice and cool, and
Except there was a beautiful wedding on the 4th of July.
yeah, Bill had like 60 hours in 1 week.
And he catered.
Yeah,
Me,
jeez. Yeah, so I really want to look at that rate structure when we do the other rate structures and figure out some a la carte options and maybe some ability for Bill to be able to, you know, if he has somebody and maybe they're looking at a farther out date, be like, hey, you want to get married a couple months earlier and we'll give you, you know, this kind of discount. Because if we could push some more people to those months, it'd be great. Because then, you know, we're guaranteed to book the other ones. So,
But didn't we talk a couple months ago about like the girl that wants to use it for outdoor yoga? Or we haven't talked about that yet. Well, it's a girl I went to high school with.
oh, Bill
and,
talked about that
Lori
3
Coffey,
meetings
yeah.
ago or something like that.
And she would use it on days that aren't even on a busy wedding month. She would be on all the opposite days. She's the main gal at the hospital. We talked about that because outdoor yoga is everywhere. She approached Bill about it. Well, she approached me because she knew me, but then I said, like to.
Yeah, I don't know.
know,
We
I
just
don't
have to
know.
work out.
You guys need to
We
talk
have
about
contracts
what
for them to sign, make sure that their certifications are up to date, liability insurance, and then we'd have to work out
a pay
yeah,
schedule or
what,
whatever.
you know, if she's using the facility, maybe we just give her a one-time fee or something like that she would pay us to use the facility. Because we still got to pay for Bill, because Bill would have to be there. Still got to keep the lights on and.
Chocolate Bill. No, I'm gonna stay, Bill. The next meeting, he's here going.
Probably have to have quite a bit
I
of
think she would
people
just- I think
attend
she
to
would
be
do-
able to.
Plus, I also
make it
think
work.
that it would be great advertising. I think people that would come to her event might not exposure.
Yeah.
She's using the property. We should get a hold of her to talk to
Shoot her our way.
you. Yeah.
The other thing I had was on the amphitheater. I had someone say that they heard that we were tearing it
No, I like to build a
down. I can't
permanent
imagine.
one. Personally.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm like, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Want it relocated or
What is these things?
Where would we put it?
something. I have no idea. Anyway.
I don't want to relocate that one.
Put it up in Aiken Park, all the way back there.
Oh, geez, don't say that.
Yeah, all the way back in the corner. It's kind of down.
We can
and-
really block your neighborhood out, right?
But I know
No.
we did discuss possibly doing some sort of a concert down there to utilize that more.
That
May
was.
not lose sight of that.
I still, you know, I even talked in our symphony meetings about us wanting to do some more concerts. We have the facility, we don't use it. I know kind of the focus of the partnership is kind of taking that away from the amphitheater quite a bit because they moved everything up to the square. But I mean, we have an amphitheater, we don't have a portable stage. We need to be having concerts at our amphitheater.
So, do you think that the concerts on the square would be better attended?
I don't want to get into that drama.
No, I think
I think there's going to be some super opinionated people on that. I think it's more of we need to offer free concerts. They don't have to be giant bands or anything, just something nice. and then we team up with the symphony and we call it some sort of concert series. So that way it looks like they're getting more bang for their buck, you know? So maybe it's $25 to go to the symphony, but you get the pass that gets you into everything free. Or
Yeah,
something.
season pass.
Yeah, and then that way we could actually pay for
I
the
do think
symphony.
there's got to be a better way to do what we're doing.
I
And
think so,
love
too.
those ideas.
And then having that
Well-
part-time recreation person, this is a great project for them.
I don't think, this will be the last thing I say. I didn't realize there was tension there, but as a merchant.
It's
on
not
this-
tension, it's just we don't wanna,
I understand, but as a
Yeah.
merchant.
avoid
As a
drama.
merchant on this square, when the partnership has been created to generate business on the square, to refurbish the square, it's all for the square, right?
Yeah.
When they do concerts like that, it doesn't really do me any good. They close the square down 10 hours before the concert. It kills my day's business. It doesn't matter how good the business is at night. You've killed a whole day.
'Cause you can't
know,
get to it.
There's a million, the merchants are all, I feel like as a merchant, we're just underwater. We're screaming and nobody's listening. Partnership just does what the partner. Don't get me started on that. So as a merchant on the square and a member of the partnership and on a park board with an amphitheater, I think that would be a better activity to do. We could do something else, be less intrusive to the.
yeah.
You wanna,
What are
And
you
I
guys
think-
afraid of? Why are you?
Well,
This is
more
what this
for
meeting's
us,
for.
we
Yeah.
need to do what it was meant to do. It was put in there, it's in a really expensive venue. To, you know what I
See,
mean? We
that's
got
where
a
that's where I
$30,000 cover on the top, we got a $10,000 cover on the back.
It definitely needs to be used.
It
more,
needs to be
Tracy. Yeah.
utilized.
I think
Definitely think it needs to be
Me
used
too.
more. I don't know that we need to solve that right now.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
don't
go
know.
too, but I got chicken in the oven.
I make a motion.
Do I hear a second?
I've been seconding it.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting